G'day, my name is Elfreda Jonker. I'm the Client Portfolio Manager at Alphinity Investment Management. Today I have Jonas Palmqvist with me. He's one of the founders of our global team as well as the Global Portfolio Manager, and covering a range of sectors including healthcare. We will be reflecting on the recent third quarter reporting season today. So Jonas, as a starting point, do you have any sort of high level takeaways from the recent reporting season?
Yeah, overall it was a solid reporting season, and if we look at the US, I mean, it is the main market in global equities. It was actually 80% of companies beat expectations for the quarter, so it's back up at quite high numbers from a historical perspective. And also for the first time in a year, we actually saw positive earnings growth year on year. 4% earnings grew in the US this quarter. If you take away the energy sector, which is making less money this year, it was actually plus 10%. So overall, a solid third quarter season.
That's great. And I guess the important thing always would be the outlook statement and what the companies are saying about the fourth quarter and into 2024. What would your takeaways be from that perspective? What are the companies saying? What are they seeing?
it's definitely a bit more mixed when you look forward. Many companies struggle to raise guidance. Normally you get 40 to 50% of American companies actually raising guidance. That was only 25% in this period. So clearly these economic headwinds and also some lingering cost pressures are causing some uncertainty here and holding back earnings expectations. And in fact, I think that's one of the themes we're looking for now. We can really see a lot of pressure on revenue, on the revenue line and top lines. So we had this big pulse of inflation come through, which added a lot of growth. The companies passed that on to customers. That game is over now largely. And it kind of leads us into looking for companies that can still grow in this tough economic environment. They can still produce some top line growth, but probably more importantly, they're not going to have to give back margins. So be able to defend margins and sometimes even raise margins. But they're a little bit harder to find. It does mean you start looking a bit more in the more growth biased parts of the market. So not just technology, which you always end up talking about, but also more growthy business models in financials, consumer disc, healthcare, etc. That's where we're finding our best ideas.
So we currently do have an exciting portfolio of around 30 stocks, fantastic global companies, and generally speaking, it was a really strong reporting season for us. If you have to choose two names that really stood out to you, which ones would that be?
Yeah, I mean, there were some standouts this reporting season, but I think if we look at the two dominant themes in global equities, is so AI, artificial intelligence, and then this new class of pharma drugs, the obesity, diabetes drugs, the diabetes drugs. GLP-1s. And they, if we start with AI, the flagship stock in software, Microsoft, it beats expectations across the board. What's really interesting though is that they are just now launching these AI tools. They have a vast customer base. We think looking into 2024, that's going to be a real important revenue driver, so that's quite exciting. If we look at the GLP-1 drug family, we have Novo Nordisk, Danish company, a pioneer and one of the global leaders in that field, and they actually pre-announced their third quarter results. Big beat, big race again on revenues and earnings. But it's going through that really interesting transition now where these drugs are proving not just to treat diabetes and obesity, but also starting to show very promising signs in kidney disease, in cardio, etc. So that's a really interesting stock even into next year. So we're finding that's two stocks that really stood out for us in the portfolio.
Fantastic, definitely some very exciting trends that should continue for quite some time. So thank you, Jonas. For more information from Jonas and the team, please visit our website on alphinity.com.au. Thank you.
Thanks.